a blog post that was lightly poking fun at a silly song made by a 7th grader turned dangerous when a group of internet scum orchestrated an attack known as Operation Black Friday.
I heard of 4chan in a minute.
The hackers doxed Rebecca, releasing her home address, parents' work addresses, and the information for the middle school she attended, along with a copy of its calendar and a map of the campus, knowing
that is so crazy, bro. That's so crazy.
Exactly where she will be and when. The plan posted to 4chan's B-board read, here are some simple orders. 12 p.m. EST, start calling the school with all of the numbers and tardy bull. Fax as many nudes of anything, girl horse for example, and put Rebecca's name on it. At 1 p.m. EST, DDoS Arc Music Factory. At 3 p.m. EST, start requesting her sorry excuse for music on the radio. As if her life being in danger wasn't hard enough on the young girl, Rebecca Black's song Friday was the catalyst of relentless cyberbullying. It briefly became the #1 most disliked YouTube video of all time, and was widely regarded as the worst song and video ever made. This,
you can't get mad because it's got 100 million views, so
is the story of how the entire internet attacked a 7th grade girl and how she ultimately got her redemption. 13-year-old Rebecca Black was initially inspired by her classmate Alana Lee, who released a song and professional music video called Butterflies. Now, Rebecca had been singing and dancing in school talent shows and musicals since she was a toddler. Therefore, the idea of making a music video sounded like a fun new experience. Becca went home and asked her mom if she could make one like her classmate, so they reached out to the company who produced the Butterflies video, Arc Music Factory. Arc Music was owned and operated by Patrice Wilson, who would ultimately create the viral song that turned Rebecca's life upside down. Making terrible pop songs for little girls was not Patrice's first choice as a career path. He started a record label but didn't have money to give.
Look at this nigga's sideburns, bro. How you left the crib thinking that shit is good, bro? That shit is not good.
Artists for recording and marketing costs. Instead, artists would pay him using Arc Music as a gateway to the entertainment industry for a couple thousand.
Reason it don't connect, bro.
Ready to take the next step in your career? Earn the credentials you need to secure your future.
$1,000, Arc Music would write a song, get a studio, produce the song, take photos, record a video, and even submit all of that to more legitimate labels. However, Patrice soon realized his company primarily attracted one specific group: fame-hungry teenagers and their parents who could afford to risk the multi-$1,000 investment. The first
I see what he's saying. So he's his own, he's like a sub music thing. So basically he gets people to pay to make the music video, then he sends it to the big things, and then if it works,
first audition was more like, what the heck is going on? These are all kids. We tried to go with being selective, but when you're also starting a business, we can't be too selective.
You gotta use what works for you,
Despite the young teens being his only clientele, he always managed to fit himself in the videos, whether he was just acting, singing background vocals, or rapping his own verse. It's almost like he saw Ludacris jump on Justin Bieber's song Baby, which earned over 1 billion views, peaked at #5 on the Billboard Hot 100, and sold over 10 million units, and crafted his entire business model to try to recreate that moment. Now, Rebecca's mom just wanted to support her daughter's passion, so she paid the $4,000, and Patrice seemingly slapped together something that was good enough to fulfill the excitement of a 13-year-old girl.
Then they sent me, it was called It's Friday at the time, and I was just like, cute, okay, whatever. Nobody's gonna see this, like, let's run it, you know?
They recorded the song, then filmed the music video at Rebecca's house with all of her real friends to make her more comfortable on camera, and Rebecca said the experience was pretty normal.
It wasn't really like this big glamorous ordeal or anything like that. I had gone to Forever 21 to pick out my outfit the day before. I had invited a few of my friends. I thought that would be a lot more fun. I remember doing that performance shot, not knowing what to do with my arms. So I think if you watch the video, like, I'm just standing and dancing like this for the whole time, which God, it was a fun day.
Rebecca didn't hear anything back from Patrice for a few weeks after the shoot. She never got to see a rough draft or make any creative decisions on the video edit. The first time she saw the video was when it was uploaded to YouTube on February 10th, 2011.
What did you think of the song and the video and everything at first?
I think I was probably more concerned about, like, myself than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I was so hyper-focused on, this is what I look like on camera, and just picking my own self apart, and like, I look a little awkward there, and like, because this was never meant to be like, this is my pop star debut.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally just on my own vibe. Like, I didn't really consider it to be something that was going to be seen by a lot of people. So
Yeah.
Becca got to show her friends and classmates the video, and it just seemed like it would be a cute memory for her to look back on. The video got 4,000 views in the first 28 days, but on
That's
the
fire.
29th day, Rebecca's world was about to come crashing down. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Aura. Bank of America
Aura.
recently data announced Billy Sword with some you can 11th 2011 the
Tosh,
song was
oh.
posted to Comedy Central star Tosh.0's blog
Oh, that's where I remember it from.
with the title
It's like
Songwriting
bootleg
Isn't for
TMZ.
Everyone. At the time, the Tosh.0 website was averaging 3.2 million visitors, which was just enough traffic to start this viral storm. The blog post was merely criticizing the song's terrible lyrics, even acknowledging that she did not write them, which was true. It was written entirely by Patrice Wilson, and to be fair, the lyrics are pretty bad. The song is essentially about an average middle school girl's life on a Friday, waking up in the morning, eating cereal for breakfast, going to the bus stop, seeing your unlicensed friends drive up to your house and not being confused by that, but rather
Middle school people dropping
not knowing what
B's.
seat to take. Nobody wanted to admit it at the time, but the chorus was objectively catchy. Who doesn't love Friday? Who isn't looking forward to the weekend? However, the part where Patrice clearly exhausted the little creativity he did have was in the bridge where he had Rebecca sing, "Yesterday was Thursday, today it's Friday, we so excited, tomorrow is Saturday, and Sunday comes afterwards." And then of course he had to jump in to have his ludicrous moment. The Tosh blog
That's crazy. And he got what he wanted. He just
poking
looked
fun at the
corny,
lyrics
bro.
was
It's-
more
it's
than
cool,
fair
though.
criticism. Others would not be so gracious, beginning to share some of the most hateful, vitriolic opinions about the young girl. There seemed to be a particular trend of telling her to die. 4 days after the Tosh blog
That's so crazy because he's proven she didn't
post,
write
the
lyrics.
official video for Friday had 7 million.
They just hating,
Little
bro.
Bo Peep had lost her
They
sheep.
was just hating, bro.
Turns
I
out
see it
she
now.
just needed the smart buying tools on Amazon Business, so she could focus on bigger things. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
Yo, these ass beats are spam. I am not paying for premium, bro. So I make enough to have premium for free. No funny shit.
Million views, stories on thousands of websites and blogs, most of them sporting negative headlines such as, "Why do we hate Rebecca Black?" Rebecca Black's bizarrely bad video, and many claiming it to be the worst video or song of all time. At that point, if you typed in "worst song ever" on YouTube, her video would be the first
But it got 100 million views. And look how old the browser is. So I know that got way more now.
recommended. A few days after her explosive virality, Rebecca did an interview on the morning news and shared how harsh people were treating her.
"You're so fat and you'll never be pretty. You suck at singing. I hope you go and I think you should get an eating disorder
This is the time where you can say anything you want on the internet.
because that'll make you prettier."
Additionally, Rebecca wanted to prove to her haters she could actually sing,
She had
since
a
most
Mac.
people were critical of her monotone voice with the autotune cranked up high, but they weren't exactly impressed with her acoustic version either.
Gotta make my mind up, whiskey cannot take. It's Friday, Friday.
Unfortunately for
Oh, that's her song. Wow. Wow. I remember that song now. That's crazy. It wasn't even
For
that
Rebecca,
bad,
the
bro.
mainstream coverage just attracted
even
more
that
negative
bad, bro.
attention, sending the song into the tens of millions of views, most of which were just spamming the dislike button. There were definitely a lot of people just trolling, using her song and likeness as nothing deeper than a meme. Even deaf people said they were grateful they couldn't hear the song. However, you could imagine for a 13-year-old girl, it could often be difficult to tell the difference between harmless trolling and vitriolic bullying, especially with 4chan users doxing her and encouraging people to attack her middle school, or the countless death threats that prompted real criminal investigations. The bullying got so intense that her parents opted for her to be homeschooled, to which, of course, was celebrated as a victory for her online haters. It seemed like everything Rebecca
That's so
did
crazy.
just amplified the hate. She appeared on The Tonight Show with
But look how much hate gave her, though. Like, look how much hate gave her. That's why if you really hate something, you just leave it alone, bro. That's why when you hate something, you just leave it alone. Like, if all them wasn't on her dick, All this
Jay
wouldn't have
Leno,
happened,
where
bro.
she performed
No cap.
Friday for the first time. She was accused of lip syncing when the backing track began before she even had the microphone in her hands, which is a totally normal practice for performers, but nobody was giving her the benefit of the doubt. At this point, the fastest way to go viral on YouTube was to simply make fun of or parody Friday. Countless YouTubers, including Nihahiga, Bart Baker, and Dashi XP, made remixes to the song. The Annoying Orange posted a Friday parody that has almost more views than the original.
That's crazy though, but it still had 170 million
Several TV
views,
shows
bro.
and media outlets poked fun at Black and her viral song. Conan O'Brien had a segment on his show where he made a parody of Friday called Thursday. In a less overtly mocking tone, Fox's Glee performed the cover of Friday in the episode Prom Queen. Just a couple weeks after going viral, her video...
Yo, I know that nigga that made the song hype though, no cap. Cause he ain't gotta deal with none of this shit, bro. None of this shit, bro. But he getting all the bread from the YouTube video too.
Officially
and that's before the adpocalypse, so you know he got real bread.
surpassed Justin Bieber's Baby to become the most disliked video on YouTube. Patrice not only fulfilled his business prophecy, but he was able to one-up Bieber and Ludacris. Ironically, many celebrities were the ones who showed support for Rebecca.
More fun, pom-poms. What do you think? Now, honest opinion, Chris Brown. Honest opinion
honestly,
of Rachel Black.
I'm never a hater. Oh, it was great. I actually liked it. I'm gonna be jamming to it on Friday.
One of my boys is rich.
Chris Brown is a cool dude, bro.
Yeah. So you in or not, brother?
We got to invest.
Now.
My paycheck invests itself. My portfolio is set, man.
You don't believe in yourself. Why do you think I own this? You thought I rented that? I don't know why he's like that.
Yeah.
Whatever, more for us.
Try the Double Sonic Smasher, not a half price drink in the app. Live free, eat
I
Sonic.
did only had Sonic once.
Gotta get down on Friday.
One of the most shocking supporters was television personality and record executive Simon Cowell, who is a ruthless music critic. Simon advised Rebecca not to listen to anyone over the age of 18. I'm being deadly serious. Whatever she's done has worked. Whether you like her or not, she's the most talked about artist in America right now. Nobody over the age of 18 should understand her or like her, so she should just do it her way. Even Lady Gaga spoke out in support of Rebecca.
So what do you think about the future of fame through YouTube?
I think it's fantastic. I say Rebecca Black is a genius, and anyone that's telling her she's cheesy is full of shit.
However, the main criticism that seemed to be widely accepted as fair was the notion that her parents paid for her to be a star. These people must be fame-grubbing, artistically bankrupt, déclassé narcissists.
You just hate. You know what that's gonna do? It's gonna boost up again.
It's also tacky. It's so sad. It's so shamefully desperate. Now, there is some nuance to be considered here. It's unfair to say Rebecca was desperate for fame, but since she was a performer since the age of 2, she did like the idea of becoming a star.
I just didn't know, like, I was like a fan of YouTube. I was a fan of like Justin Bieber and like
Becoming a gay anthem. What the fuck?
All the things
When did
happening
that
then.
happen?
I wasn't ready for that then.
Since American media glamorizes the celebrity lifestyle, it's not uncommon for a young girl to desire the red carpets, bright lights, and fans screaming their name. She loved to perform. She loved making music. Then again, she never thought Friday would be seen by anyone. She even recognized Friday was not a good song, but she also did not write it. Other critics wrote, "The only thing more horrifying than Rebecca Black's terrible Friday is the sad, easily exploited longing for fame she represents." This is a better critique of the industry as a whole. Rebecca was the product of an untalented record producer who was seemingly desperate for fame. It could be argued that Patrice used Rebecca and others to get himself publicity.
So his beard does connect. So why did you have your sideburns that long, bro?
As a viral songwriter and music mogul, someone who could make your child's pop star dreams come true. He even hosted talent auditions on Good Morning America for his next star, only for it to be a commercial for his auto-tuned microphone toy. To make matters worse, Rebecca and her mother sued Arc Music Factory for copyright infringement and unlawful exploitation of...
Told you that nigga got the bag and tried to run away with it. I'm telling you, bro.
Publicity rights. The
Should've
original
got the bag and
agreement
run
was
away
that
with
Black would own the exclusive rights to the song since they paid the recording and production costs. But then Arc Music began selling ringtones without their permission. Selling ringtones was a lucrative business in the early 2000s, generating billions of dollars annually before smartphones and streaming services took over. Customers paid anywhere from $1 to $4.99 to purchase a single ringtone. Since Rebecca was meant to own the rights to the song, all of the profits should have been going to her, but they weren't.
See, ran off with the bag, bro. Ran off with
it. According to an assessment made by Billboard, the 13-year-old was netting roughly $24,900 per week from track sales. The sales...
Yo, 25. Yeah, I'm running away too.
And streaming data actually launched the song to the number 58 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. Arc Music later even tried to charge $2.99 to watch the music video on YouTube. Patrice and Arc Music were trying...
Nah, that's just being greedy now. That's being greedy.
To unlawfully snag whatever revenue they could. At this point, Rebecca had the worst introduction to the music industry and fame you could imagine. Most people in her position would crack under the pressure, but she did the opposite. She fought back, first by embracing the memes and making fun of the song herself.
Gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal. That line is about consumerism. I gotta have my bowl, I gotta have my cereal. We can't live without these things in modern society. And for some people, it's a mortgage, and others, it's a bowl of cereal. Well, the choice between the front seat and the back seat is actually a metaphor for American foreign policy. Front seat, Afghanistan, back seat, Iraq. We gotta make our mind up.
Then by fighting Arc Music to retain full ownership of her song and re-uploading it to her official YouTube channel.
And then she did it and she got her own bag too. Like, that's crazy.
My mom said to me, we can either keep it up on YouTube or take it down. I said, no, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of making me take it down. No, this is going to work out. I just want to let it go. Let it do its thing.
Were you guys ever able to make any money from that whole situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I own the master to the song.
Okay.
I didn't write it, so I don't own the publishing, but I own the
So you own the recording.
That's fine.
So anytime anybody used the song,
you get
money. Paid. So that's nice though that you at least made a little bit of money from it. And you still are you still getting paid for sometimes people use it and
yeah, sometimes.
Nice.
Patrice desperately tried to recreate this viral moment with other young acts after Friday, but failed miserably. Rebecca then started posting YouTube videos consistently, building a real fan base.
Do you see it? The
that's
cream-colored
tough,
columns are made
That's
of
tough.
solid marble with exuberant brass reliefs.
Base of
did it
people
once,
who
couldn't do it
understood that
again.
she was just a normal girl who got stuck in an unfortunate situation.
I think I don't want to have to like look back when I'm older and then like, wow, I wasted all the time being young, being unhappy.
She was even invited to star in Katy Perry's music video for her hit song, Last Friday Night. She continued to release singles, but none of which matched the success of Friday, with fans believing that her debut was what caused the lack of support. If this was pushed by Disney, it would have been loved. In 2013, Rebecca teamed up with YouTuber Dave Days to release a song titled Saturday, peaking at number 55 on the Billboard Hot 100. Some felt this was a positive way for her to jab back and embrace the jokes. However, others looked at this as a mere desperate attempt to gain attention, which resulted in more memes and a resurgence in bullying. And as a result, she finally decided it was time to step away. So there came a point where everybody that I was working with, management, all of that, I let go of all of them, and I just stopped. My parents and I agreed I'm going to go back to high school.
And she was still in high school the whole time? That's crazy.
Yet again, Rebecca had the foresight to recognize how this was all not going to play out in her favor. People feeling sorry for you is not a good way to build a fan base, nor can you just jam music down people's throats. So instead of continuing to do that, she spent time figuring out how to write her own music and put in the 10,000 hours to discover her inner artist.
Just as I started to grow into like adolescent version of me, music became the thing that really changed my life and saved my life in a lot of ways. And that was something that I knew I had to dive into myself without other opinions. So when I graduated high school, I moved up and I just started writing, and I wrote a lot of bad songs, like a lot. I had to go through that in order to really learn the repetition and also learn that like if I'm ever gonna do this in a way that is meaningful and good, I have to trust that I have something to say, which is like artist 101.
She re-entered the game with a significant social media following, who remained open-minded towards her new music. In the summer of 2016, Rebecca released the song titled The Great Divide, her first release of new material in almost 3 years. It reached number 23 on the US dance charts, but that would unfortunately be her last song to make the charts. Every year since 2016, she kept her foot on the gas, dropping multiple songs per year and experimenting with various genres, refusing to give up on this dream. Then, in a dramatic twist of fate, the very song that once destroyed her, she was able to rewrite its history and catapult a resurgence in her career. In 2021, to commemorate the 10th anniversary of her infamous debut, Rebecca Black released a hyperpop remix of Friday, produced by Dylan Brady of 100 gecs and featuring eclectic artists such as Dorian Electra, Big Freedia, and 303. The track was reimagined to a frenetic symphony of glitchy beats and warped vocals. The music video is a kaleidoscopic explosion of Y2K aesthetics with futuristic elements. She was also able to get herself a web redemption from Daniel Tosh, the man who arguably caused this virality in the first place.
Do you blame me for making people aware of the video? Or do you give us credit for making it?
I do give you credit.
Or you give us credit
I was
for
about
it?
to say give him credit, because if he didn't, that shit would still be at 4 bands, at 4 views, 4,000 views. Like, that's crazy.
We were obviously, let's not, you know, we weren't like, oh my God, this is the greatest song in the world. We were like, look at this. This is insanity.
I mean, it was a little bit insane.
I mean, some of the lyrics are silly.
Yeah.
Her debut studio album, Let Her Burn, received generally favorable reviews, solidifying her place in the hyperpop realm.
She did it. Rebecca Black made a solid little album and proved she is capable of pulling together a respectable pop record.
Recently, she performed a phenomenal Boiler Room DJ set where she showed her deep knowledge and taste for hard-hitting techno bangers, and the crowd went absolutely wild in support of her playing a Friday remix.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything, but time is gold.
She had two choices. Make this song ruin my life, make this song make my life. Actually mad inspiring to see how she flipped the script. At first, it was funny to tease Rebecca Black, but now people recognize we were way too harsh on an innocent 7th grader.
Yeah, I was way too harsh. I had nothing else to do.
Who was just trying to have a fun new experience. Friday was always a bad song, and it still is. But Rebecca rewriting her narrative and earning a genuine fan base from her hard work and creative vision could be one of the most respectable redemption arcs in history.
Nah, that is crazy. She literally turned lemons into lemonade and didn't stop. That's crazy. But I believe that she didn't have to stop. She still had all that stuff with her, so what's the point? Keep on going. And now she lit. But if you made it to the end of the video, you obviously like the video, obviously sub, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy